we talk a lot about retreats, and we talk about, advice and these events and whatever being problematic in the spirituality, new age space. But one other thing that I find interesting is products. And I've seen a lot lately, and I just want to kind of talk about it for a little bit. There's two that I'm going to focus on today, and I think this deserves more of a deep dive at some point. But let's just have a little fun. I use, again, fun lightly. Here is one. You might have heard about it. If you follow some anti-vaccine people, they seem to hate that, but love this machine. I don't understand why. I guess it's because if it's FDA approved, then it's evil. But if it's sort of FDA approved, then it's okay. I don't know. It just seems weird. You would reject big pharma, but then accept this rinky dink MLM product as oh, this is truly a good one. But whatever. So I discovered, okay, my personal story with this product is that I had been pitched it at an event. And so I was working. All right, let me pull it up. I was working, here it is. This is the product we're talking about, Healy. Heal yourself with Healy. And it's this little thing that you put on, you clip it on to yourself, and then it's an app, essentially. It's bullshit. But my personal story with it is that I was working as a videographer at a live event in Dallas, and I was sick, and I was, wearing my mask the whole time. I couldn't, I was the only videographer that was doing the work that I was doing. They had live videographers there, but they didn't have any interview people. So I had to go. It had been planned a lot in advance. I didn't want to go, but I was like, okay, I have to do this. And there was a photographer there, and she was a very nice woman. And she saw I had the mask, and this was still mid-pandemic. This was, I didn't test positive for COVID, but I wasn't feeling good. And so I wore the mask the whole time, but basically everyone else there, and there was 1,000 people, were not wearing masks. Anyways, so because they didn't believe in it at this event, if you know what I mean. And anyway, so the photographer comes up to me and goes, oh, are you okay? Is everything good? I'm like, yeah, I'm just not feeling that great. I'll be fine. She's like, oh, well, if you want to borrow my Healy, it'll help you. And I thought she meant her inhaler. I was like, oh, your Healy? what is that? Oh, I'm good. I don't want to take your inhaler, but thank you. And she's like, oh no, here it is. I've been playing the immunity vibration or something. I don't know. She was explaining it how it works. Basically, it's this little thing that vibrates, and it's supposed to give you healing energy. It's approved by for minimal arthritic pain in a certain part of your body if it's caused by overexertion. That's what it's medically allowed to do and supposed to be done for. But these people because it's an MLM, so okay, if you're familiar with Monate, Arbonne, Avon, I don't know what, a Beachbody, the distributors are the salespeople. So they take the product and they start saying what it's done for them. It's healed my cancer. It's taken away my Alzheimer's. My dog was located. These are all claims that people have made about this product. So basically there's different ones, right? I don't know. You put it on, you sync it to your iPhone or your phone, and then you hit skin, and then it's a thing. So, well, let's play a video to show you exactly what it is. But apparently this is at one point they were saying, oh, this is a,
thing
COVID's fake, but if you do get it, just put this on to the antiviral program, and then you'll be healed. So here you go. Here's an example of someone showing
the
it.
Healy app and connect the Healy to the Healy app and the phone. Phone's Bluetooth settings. You just make sure and find it. So you have to
get the app.
The first. It's not going to break. Just push down just simply by typing it. So 01. Connected to the.
Okay. Do you think this thing's going to heal anything? Like what? This is like a piece of plastic that it's like like a little toy, and it has an app. Okay. So these are all the ones. Gold, local stimulation learning. So you can turn it on and learn better. Fitness, job/sleep, because we all know job and sleep go hand in hand. Mental balance, beauty and skin, bioenergetic balance, meridians, okay?
30-40% firmer and push down hard to make sure that the healing.
Okay, so now he's going to show, so this is one of the, more advanced options. He's going to use the little tags. With his, headphones.
And if you're running programs to do with the mental state or the head, then you're going to use and attach the ear electrodes.
You're going to put it in water. Like, are you insane? What are you doing?
And once you've attached the electrodes, the best thing to do before attaching the wrist straps or the ear electrodes is to make sure that you wet them just so that they make a proper persistent.
And so all these people are incentivized also, obviously, because it's an MLM, to make these videos where they're showing out, how to use it. So it looks like, oh, wow, like a lot of people are gaining a lot of greatness from, from this. And, oh, so many videos about it, praising its efficacy. But again, like a lot of these people are being paid to make these videos. So I just wanted to show you, excuse me. I wanted to show you, I entered a group. Now this is a private group. I just said add and they immediately added me and I didn't have to give any information. But I just wanted to show you some of the claims that people have made about this. This product. Some of them are funny, and that's why I think it's important to show. I mean, the whole thing seems, completely ridiculous, but some of these claims, I mean, it's sad because people are possibly foregoing important medical procedures to, to participate in this nonsense, but it's still funny nonetheless, in a way. Okay. I joined the Facebook group. What is it called? Healy. And they have a whole thing about animals too. And they're putting them on horses and they're putting them on dogs. And like I said, if you want to find your dog's missing, apparently you can play this and the dog will come back to you, according to these people in this group. Okay, let's see. Facebook, sorry. Of course, the one link I want to actually use. Okay, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay, there's a lot of people talking about, okay, this one. Here we go.
Hey, how's it going? This is a testimonial that is way past due. And I felt the call right now to finally make a video testimonial to show my gratitude to the Healy devices as well as the gentleman, Tony, who introduced me to these devices. My story is going to take a little bit of time to detail because I really want to cover all the bases and show my greatest gratitude to both Healy and Tony. Tony was introduced to me from a mutual friend because, unfortunately, my dog had a so-called inoperable cancer tumor that was almost the size of a grapefruit. And every single vet basically said, we can't do the surgery, she's too old, etc., etc., etc. I started praying, I started meditating, I started her on a bunch of anti-cancerous supplements, and it was definitely helping. It was shrinking the size of the tumor significantly. However, it just wasn't enough to save her. And one of our mutual friend, his name is Martin, introduced me to Tony and the Healy device. And even though I have a deep interest in crystals and energies and frequencies and all this stuff, there are a lot of, for lack of a better term, devices that don't exactly do their job. Now, keep in mind, Healy cannot be marketed as a medical device per se, outside of basically being a TENS machine, which is a machine that sends electrodes through the body to help, quote unquote, deal with your pain. But I don't really care what the FDA says and what anybody says. This device literally saved her life and has helped me with my health elements as well. So,
claim number one, he's going to continue to make it, but basically, yes, it took his dog's grapefruit-sized tumor, and it's going to eliminate it. Now, of course, there's no pictures of this dog. There's no evidence that this dog exists. I don't even think he's even said the name of the dog, which is sort of odd if you really loved, a companion like that. I think you'd say, like, my dog, this. Not just, like, my animal. Like, you would probably say, like, Sadie, or maybe he did. But just seems a little informal or not informal. It seems a little bit cold, I guess, to me, like the way he's describing it. And then he's also going to talk about healing his grandfather in a second, and himself. So this one was one of my favorites.
To cut to the chase, I didn't tell Tony anything what was wrong with this dog. Okay, nothing. I just said I have a dog that's not well, and Tony offered to do a free scan using his Healy device. Now, I'm in New York City, and Tony's all the way on the West Coast. So I said, okay, let's see if this thing is legitimate. And the device does two types of scans. One, it basically...
So apparently it could scan the device, I think is what he's saying. It can scan you from California to the East Coast. So why do you even need it then if it can just do it through the air? What's the point of having it then?
Basically checks your physical body, and one checks your auras, your chakras, okay? And he did a report for my dog. Her name is Izzy. And,
Izzy,
for
okay.
the aura as well as her body. And I swear to you, this thing was so accurate, it was not even funny. It knew about her previous health issues. It didn't say cancer, of course, because again, this device can't be used as a diagnostic tool.
Of course.
But it pretty much said everything that was going on with her. It even knew about the issue that she had a growth on her right leg. It focused on that there was an issue with the legs, with her skin, with her sleep issues, with depression, anxiety, confusion, all these types of things that I know the dog was definitely going through because I happen to be an empath myself and I read animals specifically very well.
I know that it works because I'm an empath, and I specifically am an empath for animals. Okay.
So, anyway, when Tony gave me this report, I was completely blown away, and I said, wow, this is amazing. Tony then, for weeks and weeks on end, was sending Izzy frequencies all day, all night, and I swear to God, and I really mean this, this was a dog who was ready to die, who could not stand up, who could not walk, who could barely eat. Within 3 days of Tony running these frequencies, this dog not only got up and started to eat and drink, but she asked me to take her for the longest walk I've ever given her, which was literally over 1 mile long. And I started crying immediately, knowing that I was on the right path to healing her. Mm-hmm. So then I ended up buying a Healy, and the tumor started to shrink.
So again, the guy, his upline, I'm presuming, Tony, was healing her, the dog, Izzy, from afar. So there was no device until he bought the Healy. So it was already curing her without having to even place it near her. So why even purchase it then if it's already working and it doesn't, like, energy doesn't matter where you are? It just doesn't make any sense to me. This is something that my life coach started talking about, my former life coach, where I started to get nervous, and she started like, okay, so she would say, I can channel your mom for you. I'm like, what? I'm like, what, like role play? She's like, no. Like I can tune in with her body. And like, cause my mom and I don't talk, and she's like, I can, see how she's feeling about this. I'm like, no, you can't. You can't do that physically. She goes, no, it works. Like, energy doesn't have any, distance, no geography. I'm like, okay, so why are we together then? Like, what's the point? Why can't you just heal me from afar then? Like, it doesn't, none of it like checks out realistically. Anyways.
Shrink. And finally it got to the size where a specialist, a surgeon who only deals with elderly dogs with horrific forms of cancer, said to me, I got this. And she saved her life.
So the Healy allowed this surgeon who only deals with elderly cancer dogs to operate, I guess. So the Healy, I guess, didn't actually cure her.
If it wasn't for Tony introducing me to the Healy, if it wasn't for the frequencies, just thought my baby wouldn't be here right now. And guys, I can't tell you how much I love animals. That's the reason I'm vegan. It has nothing to do with health whatsoever. So that was for my dog. For me, I had very high levels of cholesterol prior to being vegan, which cholesterol is really what cholesterol really is it's created in the body to help deal with acidosis, which comes from not eating properly. And a lot of times it'll form gallstones or kidney stones. And one day I developed this horrible pain in my stomach and I didn't know what it was. So I asked Tony again. I said, Tony, can you scan me? And it came up immediately, gallbladder. So I said, okay. I went to a gastroenterologist just for the hell of it. Had a CAT scan done. And guess what it was? Gallstones in the gallbladder. Guys, you can't fake this stuff.
You can, so actually.
If you really want to get better, if you want to heal yourself, your animals, I mean, this thing can even program crystals to hold certain frequencies. Get yourself a Healy. And I'm going to show you how dedicated I really became after all the success I had for myself, as well as multiple family members who still don't believe that this thing is what essentially, and I have to use this word loosely, of course, cured them. I don't know what is. But now I own 3 Healys, which I will show you right now. I got them, all 3 of them running 24/7. And I even bought 2 additional cell phones, which I hope you could see here, that are running frequencies 24/7. And I use these on multiple relatives of mine who have a lot of health issues. My great uncle was supposed to pass away almost 2 or 3 months ago because of unfortunately he used to be a major alcoholic, cirrhosis of the liver, cancer, horrible health issues. And suddenly my great aunt called me just the other day and she said, your great uncle's doing a hell of a lot better. And I said, oh, really? I didn't tell them that it was the device that was helping them out significantly, but this is a man who has been bedridden for the last 3 months, who finally gave me consent to do my thing. And all of a sudden he's out of bed and he's eating and drinking again. Not alcohol this time, but he's starting to get his life back. And he's no youngster. He's 87 years old. Guys, get yourself a Healy. You've got nothing to lose other than all the ailments that you and your family members and animals have. And I think they have a 14-day or a 30-day return policy.
You have nothing to lose except all of the ailments you and your animals have, and your grandparents who are alcoholics. He consented, but I didn't tell them that I'm using the device. Okay, so what consent did you give?
So if you really don't think this thing works, just send it back and get all your money back. Hope this helps all of you guys in the future.
It did help. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Okay, that's one. That was one of my favorites. Okay, then some of the comments are, that's amazing. So when you say to do an analysis, is it run all programs through Blue app? I scan all Healy programs and then I do animal programs and send it for 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. Let's watch another one and then we'll talk. Okay. Oh God, this one, I don't know if I even want to share that one. It's like someone's walking, again. Where was the good one? Yeah, a lot of animals. That seems to be, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't think if I was sick, I would buy something, like this. But I definitely I wouldn't either if I had an animal, but it's much more like I would contemplate it when it comes to, okay, this one's kind of funny. When it comes to my aunt, you know, if Tara was sick and someone said, hey, you know, this could heal her, I would think about it twice because I'm like, I'm so desperate. But I think that's why they say animals, your grandparents, you, everybody's included. So like, if you're not really caring about yourself that much, then you might be guilted into buying one to, you know, solve your animal's problems.
Hello, beautiful souls. I hope that everybody is sparkling, spreading positivity, abundance, respect, kindness, love everywhere. I had to share what happened tonight because it was just crazy, as it always is with my amazing Healy. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being my savior. Oh my gosh. So obviously I'm in this fancy dress. My husband and I had a gala tonight. And, you know, we get there, we're having a great time. I don't know if you can tell, but I really dolled up. So, like, I have eyeshadow on, I have, like, mascara primer, and then the regular mascara, and then the eyeliner. So I'm not sure exactly which part made me go into allergic response. But, yeah, it was not cool. And nobody knew it because of my Healy. So here I am. During the lecture, during the speech part of it, during when the speakers were up there, my eyes started like feeling like they were on fire. And then I felt my eyelids actually swell. And because of my anaphylactic response that I've had recently within the last 3 months, I was just like, oh God, what is it now? Like, what was in the food? Was there anything in the food? And I'm like, but why would that activate my eyes? I'm like, what's going on with my eyes, right? And it wasn't
Right.
It wasn't on the bottom. It was only the top. It's my eyelids were swelling and just really, really, really painful, like stabbing in my eyes. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And then I got nauseous. And then I was like, okay, something's going on here. And even right now, like I'm pretty weak. But I went to the bathroom and I got my Healy. Like I literally like just went in there and turned it on. I used release, which releases uncomfortable sensations, both emotionally and physically. So I did release, and then I was like, okay, am I going to be okay? And I was like, oh, I don't want to create a scene. Like, we're at this gala. This is like important to my husband.
Not to me.
So it's like with his work and stuff. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to go back to the table. I'm going to see how I feel. I was still a little nauseous, but like, I'm so grateful for this amazing device because the knife stabbing pain in my eyes went away. First of all, this is my personal testimonial.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now they got to make sure they say the disclaimer. Like, hey, I actually can't say anything of what I just said.
Healy is here to balance and harmonize your bioenergetic field, in turn enhancing your own self-healing, self-mastery capability. It's not intended to cure, treat, prevent any diseases. But this is my personal testimonial. So within 8 minutes, my knife stabbing pain in my eyes went away. You can't really tell because I have so much makeup on, but my eyelids are pretty puffed up and swollen.
Go to the hospital.
To how they usually are. And obviously I'm a little affected with my body. Like something is not happy.
It's probably the Healy. It's probably putting that device on your body all day. That's the gist of that one. The knife stabbing pain in my eyes are healed. It actually can't heal. But here's my curing story. Okay. There's a guy who did a really, really great piece about this, and he went into like who created it. It's like some random dude, and I don't know. Okay. This one. And we can watch a little bit of that because he picked out some, here's the horse. He picked out some really great moments from some of these. Here's the horse. Yeah, I think that's really it's gonna do it. I think that's really gonna heal the horse. Someone says, what programs can one apply to reduce fat, increase more energy, and recover from serious injury? And then they responded in a different language. Oh. A lot of autism is healed.
My name's Steve.
Here's another one.
I have a 22-year-old autistic son. He was clinically diagnosed as very severe autistic. We brought his score down from very severe to severe, down to the high end of moderate to mid-range moderate, and he's getting ready to hit mild now. The therapies we've been using other than diet have been frequency-specific microcurrent through Dr. Carolyn McMakin and neurofeedback through BrainCorp. In the last 90 days, we've seen very, very substantial improvements with our son. And I've got data. We've been having EEGs done every 30 days and taking the...
Whatever. He goes on and on. But basically, he's like, yeah, I cured my son's autism. So, we love that. We love that. So you gotta make sure to target all of the vulnerable populations. Parents with kids with autism, you got to make sure you got the animals, you got the makeup, anaphylactic shock. But the one guy literally, and I'll show you, it's called Vulture Report. He sort of stopped making videos. I just came across his channel today and I'm like very upset that he stopped. And I'm hoping that maybe he'll start again because I really like his style and it was very good and he did a great job. So I'm going to also add this to my description after this so you can watch the full thing. But literally, he found a guy who says, I was deathly allergic to like peanuts, which is obviously a very serious allergy. And he's like, I put the Healy on and like, I ate a peanut. Are you insane to say that like to somebody? Are you nuts out of your mind? No pun intended. Pun intended. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we don't have to watch the whole thing, but here is where he got so, look at all this information this guy put together. Like he makes my research look like child's play. Okay. Okay, here's the part where he talks about the claims. And of course it's a
of bacteria.
It's an MLM, so you can never, I'm already out no matter what the product is. But the fact that they're making all these ridiculous claims is insane to me. Okay, here's the guy. This is Vulture Watch. So if you're looking for another rabbit hole to go down, I approve. Here you go.
Yeah, I searched Healy's website for evidence. They claim many studies confirm safety of their method, but don't actually mention any of them. But they do name two scientists. Professor Becker, orthopedic surgeon, no physics or research background, made wild theories about electropollution and even suggested that electricity is a conspiracy. He claimed the current from your wall socket isn't used up at all, goes straight back to the power station through the ground. Professor Nordenstam...
Okay.
You get home from work and you're sort of thinking, I've got that heavy throat, or you've got a headache, or you feel like you're getting a cold. If you run immune system within 4 to 6 hours of those symptoms starting, you'll knock it on the head.
Anything from lungs to liver function, you can use it to protect yourself from self runs, from electrosmog, be more balanced in certain planetary alignment issues. Everyone's always freaked out about Mercury's in retrograde. Well, we have a program to help you with that, okay? And the bioenergetics.
It really does it all. It protects you from planetary alignment issues as well as electric smog. I've never heard of that. Wow, it does it all.
Or we'll say it's specifically a program designed for the current worldwide environment we see ourselves in, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
You do not need to have the Healy in your field. Once you have a client's information in here and their vibration recorded, you can send to them anywhere. So like my daughter, I can work on her while she's at school. Not a problem. I have a son that's in college on the other side of the state. I work on him daily and he can feel the vibrations.
A dog that actually got lost in a park. I came to the idea of trying to use the Healy to find Cleo. So I added in her information and we could just record the aura. Now, you see the aura, we can have a look at the analysis, delete the elements. To be found, safe and sound. So here we go, we start vibrating. 13 minutes into this frequency, she ran back to the car. This machine can do a lot of things. Since then, we've also healed a car. We found another dog and we've brought a lot of manifestations into our lives.
Okay. Healing cars, if this was the first time I've heard this from like the new age spiritual world, I would think, oh my God, this is like a one instance. But medical medium, who I also hate, and we need to do a full deep dive, deep live, maybe next week. That can be our target my target, because he is one of the people I dislike the most. But people are his supporters are so staunch and they love him so much. Like, it's probably going to be filled with people who are going to just rip everything I'm saying apart in the sense of like, you're horrible, he's so great. Like, I look at videos of people who've done videos about him before and it's a nightmare. Like, it's just like they swarm. But that's not going to stop me from talking about it. So maybe that'll be a good one. But he also says that he is an intuitive to cars, and he has a whole thing about healing cars. Like, what is that about? I've never, like, you're going to heal bodies and also go to a mechanic. I don't understand why that's included in these stories. It's so weird. It's like, if you're trying to like convince people for real, maybe it's one of those things where, and Camelia has talked about this on her channel and on Cringefluencers a lot, where it's like, if you're trying to look for a good target, like if you were a scammer, you might misspell words on purpose to see what type of person would miss that. And then they're not looking at details closely. So if you say like, oh, I'm going to heal my car and also cancer and dogs and horses and everything, that's the type of person that might just like give you all their money and go, oh, I believe anything. I don't know. It's interesting.